Welcome, everyone, to a session on cybersecurity and personal leadership in honor of International Girls in ICT Day. Today, we embark on a journey to navigate the online world safely while exuding the confidence of digital leaders. Leading our session today is Dr. Sheeba Armoogum, an associate professor at the University of Mauritius. With a PhD in cybersecurity and a South African patent for her work in intrusion detection and prevention systems, IDPS, Dr. Armoogum brings a wealth of expertise to our discussion. She has earned international recognition, including the Global Woman Inventor and Innovator Network Special Recognition Award, and has held leadership roles in various scientific research groups. Notably, Dr. Armoogum has been a keynote speaker at international conferences and forums across the globe, spreading awareness about cybercrimes. Dr. Armoogum's extensive experience and dedication make her the perfect speaker to guide us through today's discussion. Without further delay, I invite Dr. Armoogum to lead our session.
Thank you, everyone. I must be saying good evening to everyone. So thank you for the introduction. I just missed out who has spoken. I think it's Ashna. Thank you for that. So let me share the screen with you. Then I can talk to you about what. Just give me one. Am I allowed to share the screen?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so you have already given me the introduction, so I won't go much in detail for this further introduction. So let me just. Okay, that's about my work designation. I'm in the Information and Communication Technology Department at the University of Mauritius. I think this one, Ashna has already given a brief about that. I would like to directly go to my what I would like to speak about. So we are going to talk about awareness training. Why is it important to be aware of cybersecurity, cybercrime? Like right now in 2024, you know that the crime has escalated. As I'm aware that most of you have IT knowledge and a bit of cybersecurity. So if you take today's digital era, I must say, so information holds great value because you know that you are having all your informations practically on the cloud or maybe on social media. Most of us share our informations to these kind of platforms, right? So cybersecurity serves as a protective barrier for these valuable assets. So with the rising threat of any cyber attacks, you take ransomware attack or phishing email attack or any of these attacks, cybercrime awareness training is a must because the crime keeps popping out all the time. It is not the same crime. We have new crimes coming in the market. So training initiative plays a crucial role. You're not just give one-time training and to say that you're an expert in knowing what cybercrime. No. So training initiatives, it plays a crucial role in minimizing the risk of security breaches, like by promoting, you can have best practices like implementing, what I want to say is about cyber hygiene. Like you can implement some robust password policies, you can have two-factor authentication, you can keep your software always updated. You know that software update delay itself is creating some kind of issues. And you can practice safe internet browsing habits as well. So we're going to see why do we need to have all these things to be considered. So in different regions, the cyber crime and cyber security training is not just a mandatory regulation. I must say it is mandatory few regions, but not all the regions, to say around the globe. Some industries dealing with confidential information, almost all the industries, they do deal with confidential information like finance. You take industries like finance, healthcare, and education. They are frequently obligated by legislations to provide regular cybersecurity instruction for employees so that it is safe for them. So cybercrime awareness training is essential in creating a knowledgeable workforce and fostering a culture of cybersecurity around the globe. So let's see, probably you know about this cyberspace. We all are dealing with this. So the digital world or cyberspace, it has made possible by different network technology, and it is expansive. And it is intangible. You cannot feel it, you cannot touch it, but things are happening in that world, right? So we say that it's a pervasive space where people communicate without being limited by physical barrier. Right now, I'm able to communicate with you without any physical barrier, right? I'm free to do that. So unlike traditional spaces, it doesn't have geographical constraints. That's one positive side of that, or tangible boundaries. Instead, it's thriving within the interconnected network of computers, servers, and digital devices that drive global information sharing. Now, cyberspace is another way to say is like the virtual space created by complex network of computers. So we are going to see what actually happened, what are the different crimes that's happening in the cyberspace. So we deal with the term cybercrime. I'm sure many of you have already learned about several cybercrimes, the basic ones. I'm not going to go in detail about the basic ones. So as we advance into 2024, the landscape of cybercrime, it is continuously evolving, and with increase in sophistication, especially with AI, the sophistication has gone to a higher level, and the cyber criminals, they have refined their strategies and techniques, and this has made them leverage using cutting edge technologies to commit they're creating a wide array of crimes and to target individuals. It could be students of the university, it could be kids, or it could be business people or government, it could be anyone. So anyone could be the target. So one of the prevalent form of cybercrime in 2024 is ransomware attack. This particular attack, it has escalated. It's not just in frequency, but also in terms of ransom demanded. So attackers, they are actually exploited vulnerability. They are exploiting vulnerabilities in software and also in hardware, and often those those that remain unpatched, so that they can gain access to critical system and critical data. So this rise of ransomware, there is something called as ransomware as a service model. And this has lowered the entry barrier for cyber criminals, allowing even those with limited technical skills to launch these kind of attacks. There are many ransomware attacks that have occurred over the years. You can Google and see. I could tell you some of them. There was WannaCry, WANNA Cry, WannaCry ransomware attack. This affected more than 200,000 computers around across 150 countries, targeting Windows operating systems. And that was by encrypting data and demanding Bitcoin payments. Then there was another ransomware attack that was NotPetya ransomware attack. So this initially targeted organizations in Ukraine, but quickly then started spreading all over the world. Then we have Bad Rabbit, then Ryuk ransomware attack. There are lots of ransomware attacks. There was one more Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, and this was caused by the Dark Side ransomware group. So the phishing campaigns, that's another one. I'm going to tell you what you have to do when this kind of attack happens. So we do have phishing emails, phishing campaigns. These have become more personalized now and believable, with attackers conducting extensive research and potential victims to craft convincing messages. And there's a tendency that the victims trust these messages. So social engineering, they use social engineering tactics, and they have reached new height of deception, impersonation. capitalizing on the latest global events or personal information to manipulate targets into compromising their security. I'm sure most of us or some of you would have gone through this kind of victimization. Probably yes, you don't have to say about that here in this platform. So another target is the financial side. Financial fraud, this has seen a significant uptick. So as digital transactions become the norm, cyber criminals, they have developed advanced technique for intercepting online transaction. For funds through sophisticated scams, they use cryptocurrencies to launder money away from the eyes of the law enforcement. There are so many ways. So this kind of, especially Internet of Things devices we have, the sensor-based Internet of Things. So the proliferation of this IoT devices, this has widened the attack surface as well, introducing lots of vulnerabilities into home devices and the workplace devices. The issue of this kind of attack is most of us, until and unless you're aware about, you're up to date about the different attacks that's happening day to day, then maybe you could take some kind of precautions. Otherwise, we are vulnerable whether you're at home or at the workplace, even if you have sophisticated firewalls implemented in your workplace or your home. If the new attack is not able to be detected, then of course we are going to be vulnerable. Our devices. So these devices, whether it is home devices or on the workplace devices, they often lack basic security features. They render them easy target for cyber criminals looking to infiltrate the network to create large-scale botnets. So there has been a concerted effort to improve cybersecurity measures in response to the rising tide of cybercrime. Now, we all know about AI and machine learning, how it has impacted positively and also negatively. So AI and machine learning are increasingly deployed to predict and prevent cyber attacks. Of course, it has lots of positive side to identify cyber attacks with patterns. And the cybersecurity industry, they're also emphasizing the importance of cyber hygiene among users. I suppose you are maintaining cyber hygiene, the basic ones, advocating for regular updates, software updates, device updates, the use of passwords, like, unique passwords, and increase general vigilance in digital space when you're using your social media. So at times it happens that, like, for example, I'm doing my awareness program today. That's for what is happening in the year 2024. This might not have an impact after 2 years. So you need to have a constant awareness training to go through, especially in this kind of field. So cybercrime in 2024, it remains a significant threat and demands continuous adaptation and proactive defense strategies. So awareness campaigns, technology advancement in security, and regulatory measures, these are different significant parameters that we need to use for mitigating the risk of cyber attack and impact of these crimes. So I would say cybercrime is not just technical problem. It is a psychological problem. It is a people problem. It is management problem. So it is up to us how we manage the cybercrime. So when we are the victim, we tend to put the blame on the technology. So it is important to know what we are using, whether we know about the devices that we are using, and can we manage them? Do you know how to manage these devices with the data you're having? If you're having a smartphone with you, and if you are capturing your own pictures or videos and you're storing them, you know that you do have the gallery to store them. So are you aware about the security measures if ever your device get compromised? To say it gets stolen or any other ways it get compromised, maybe kind of SIM hacking or hacking, somebody hacked your device. Do you know what are the different security measures to take? So I would say cybercrime is it's a psychological problem. It is people problem. It is management problem. So it is up to us to make us aware about the different crimes and also aware about the how to manage this, how to counteract these crimes. So I'm sure you heard about cryptocurrencies. So this is one of the latest crime that is coming up, crypto crime, or we would say cryptocurrency crime. That's a shorthand for cryptocurrency related crime. So they normally present a sophisticated and evolving challenge within the global financial sector. So due to this anonymity, one of the major advantage of cryptocurrencies or crypto exposed. So due to the anonymity and decentralized nature of cryptocurrency, they have become attractive to many people, many individuals, and they seek to engage in illicit activities. So crypto crimes like theft and hacking, like in this case, the exchange of digital wallets, that's a prime target for hackers. Despite the secure blockchain technology underpinning them, the infrastructure around cryptocurrencies, like any other system, they can have vulnerabilities that are exploited for theft. Then we have scam and fraud. So this one, it includes a range of cheating activities or deceitful activities like Ponzi schemes, fraudulent initial coin offerings. Then you have exit scams, fake exchanges or wallets that lure the victims with promises of substantial returns. Unfortunately, they never get it back. And of course, another malware, the malicious software that logs your device out of their system and data with attackers, and what they demand is cryptocurrency as ransom. Normally they use cryptocurrency. So this type of attack is pervasive and they can target organization of any size. It could be a small organization to a very large organization. And so there are different, you do have money laundering is another crypto crime. Here the pseudo-anonymous characteristic of cryptocurrencies, they can be misused for laundering money by obscuring the trail of illicit funds. Then we have privacy coins, like certain type of cryptocurrencies, like they are known as privacy coins, like Monero. It offers high level of anonymity. This makes transactions less traceable and potentially facilitating criminal activities. Then we do have market manipulation, darknet marketplace. The dark web is a part of the internet that is not accessible through standard search engines. Within darknet marketplace, I'm going to talk about the dark web as well. So darknet marketplace cryptocurrencies, they are used to buy and sell illegal goods and services. That's quite dangerous. And authorities and organizations globally are ramping up their efforts to fight crypto crime. It's quite difficult. It has proliferated quite a lot. So regulatory measures and the implementation of advanced tracking, and there are so many analytical tools which are becoming increasingly common to identify suspicious transactions and tackle the challenges posed by crypto crime. So despite many of these efforts, the rapid evolution of digital currency continues to present one of the major challenges and for the law enforcement and regulators to keep pace with these criminals' action. Now, how do we prevent these kind of crimes, like preventing accidental or intentional access to the dark web, like, for example, entering into it involves a combination of technical safeguards, education, and conscious behavior. So there are a few things like education is one of the main. Informing users, especially young people, about the potential danger and illegal activities associated with the dark web. They can deter curiosity-driven access. They're curious to know what's happening. So it's important to educate. Web filters, use web filtering tools to block dark web entry points, like such as Tor is the browser they use for entering to dark web. Then we have network monitoring. So here, implement network monitoring solutions like that can detect and alert about traffic to know dark websites or the use of dark web related tools. Then we do have security software, of course, that's another important measures. You have to ensure that you are taking all security measures, secure software is installed and updated to prevent malware that could hijack devices to the dark web. Then, of course, you do have policy enforcement. If you're running an organization or business or an educational organization, even for your university, for example, you can enforce a clear IT policy that can prohibit accessing dark web markets and outline the consequences of doing so to students or even to the staff. Of course, you can control user privileges, you can limit user privileges on devices and network without administrative rights. It's quite difficult for users to install the software needed to access the dark web, so you can limit that. This practice is, I'm talking about workplace, universities, etc. But when it comes to your personal usage, home network, you have to take similar precautions for securing your devices. There's one more is firewall configuration. You can properly configure firewall to block outgoing connections to known TOR. That is the browser used to enter dark web, and this to relay nodes and other dark web entry points. So this is one of the major security measure that I would say you should take it into consideration. This can prevent many sort of malware and ransomware attacks. Then, of course, I would say, okay, you know about this. You have been surfing web, Google. So that takes just 4% of the internet. You do have the 96% of the internet, which consists of the deep web and the dark web, right? So deep web is, when you say surfing the web is where it is index pages, like, when you type in Google and search for something, you do have pages coming out to pop out, that those are index pages and you can browse them. But when we talk about the deep web, you need to have authentication. That is, you need to have username, password to enter these kind of pages. Then we have the lower side, which takes up the 6% of the internet. That is 4% of the internet is taken by the surface web. The remaining 96%, the 90% nearly, is taken by the deep web, and dark web, of course, it is the subset of the deep web. And dark web, it takes around 6 to 7% of the internet. So we are going to focus more on the dark web side. You already know about the surface web, and you do have access to your email. All this come under the deep web, right? See the dark web side. Before that, you have to be careful with, you should not be an easy target. So as the digital landscape is expanding, so does the risk of falling victim of cybercrime. So whether you are an individual, a student, or an educator, or a medical practitioner, or a government official, or anyone, or you're part of an organization, basic cybersecurity hygiene, it can significantly reduce your vulnerability. It goes for anyone. I wouldn't say particular category. I must say it is for everyone. Cybersecurity is for everyone. Parents, teachers, kids, students, everyone, every single person nowadays who are using devices to browse on the internet, they have to be aware about the cybersecurity awareness. So there are some tips to help you not to become an easy target before I come to the dark web details. So one basic recommendation is to, or I must say the hygiene, is to use strong password. I'm sure we all learn about this. We hear that a lot. You can create complex password, but ask yourself, since when you have changed the password last? Are you using the same password in your email and on your social media account, or probably in all the accounts? Many times, it is the same password being used by people in all the accounts because it's easy for them to remember. So avoid common words or phrases and never use repetitive password, same kind of password for all the accounts. That someone who gets your account, one password of one of the account, they can enter all your accounts. So you have to ensure that you don't use the same password for all the accounts. Each account, they should have the unique password, and try to enable always two-factor authentication. This can have the extra layer of security by requiring a second form of verification. Then keep software updated. Well, this is something, this is one point where many people ignore. I have seen that people ignore software update. They say, no, I do not, maybe later. Sometime the update is coming out with the security measures. It could be due to some kind of threat. So it is important to keep the software updated, install update for all software, including your operating system, your applications, antivirus, the programs that you have, because they include patches for security vulnerabilities. Patches are small software that can, if ever the existing or operating system or software is having any issues, these patches are going to, it's a kind of remedial measures for that. So be aware of the phishing attempts. So think twice before clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown centers. Unfortunately, many of us, we do click on the links. You take WhatsApp group, your people, they do create WhatsApp groups and they send links and they send pictures. We do click on them. Agreed? So it is quite, so it's so common that people click on links given, or whether it is on email, and now it is so convenient for the criminals to send it via platforms like WhatsApp or messengers or via Facebook. So they do get their surface exposed to a larger community. So cyber criminals, normally they often use phishing emails to trick you into revealing sensitive information or installing malware. You have to secure the network, your computer network. You have to have strong encryption for your Wi-Fi network, and try to consider virtual private network, the paid one, when using public Wi-Fi to encrypt your internet connection, and try to back up. Of course, these are the basic hygienes what we have seen, and don't try to use pirated software. These are another source to enter, make the cyber criminals enter your system. So you try to use reputable security software, invest in reputable security, like cybersecurity software, to help detect and protect against like malware, ransomware, and any threats. So if you have the reputable ones, you can identify the one that is up to date, the crime that is coming up to date. Then we talk about, these are few incidents that has happened in the dark web. You can just browse through that. So many incidents has happened in the dark web. Nearly 48% of the dark web usage are for illicit activities. There are lots of information about that. I can share you this screen. So if I have to say, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. As I said, we won't say it is for an organization, it's for me or a particular person, it's for everyone. So you have to be aware what you post, and you don't try to be the target. Many times we are the target because we haven't thought about what we are, when we are doing something on social media or any online platform. We tend to take it easy. So you have to try not to be the target, seeing anything on the internet, obscene informations, obscene images, or any such informations. You have to be careful. So next topic what I would like to talk about is cyberbullying, which is quite common, and body shaming, cyberbullying. We hear about this all the time. You open social media, people are showing their signs of depressive state or the worst state they are going through due to cyberbullying or body shaming. We have seen this on social media. We have read about this. So cyberbullying, what they use, they normally, for cyberbullying, when I talk about, is use of digital platform. Like they use social media, texting, websites to harass or to intimidate or cause harm to others. So the traditional bullying, it's different. Cyberbullying doesn't require physical presence, and it can occur at any time, allowing the perpetrator to remain anonymous and making it difficult for victim to escape their reach. It's quite difficult. So it can take various forms, like harassing messages or comments, repeatedly sending mean or threatening messages directly to the individual or through public posts. Some feel like publicly harassing them, or some they do it by personal messaging, spreading rumors. So using digital means to disseminate harmful or untrue or embarrassing information about someone. Rumors. It is if you think well, these rumors, by it has spread over. By the time you're trying to prove that you're not it is untrue, it's too late. The rumor has already spread in the wrong way. What about impersonation? This is another form they take. So impersonation, they pretend to be someone else online to damage that person's reputation. Outing or doxing, sharing personal, sensitive, or private information about someone without your consent. Cyber stalking, that's another form of cyberbullying. They use electronic communication to harass or frighten someone persistently, repeatedly, daily basis. They keep on stalking the person. And then we have, there are different ways people use. Even sextortion is a kind of cyberbullying. So cyberbullying, they can have serious consequences for the mental health of the victim and also the well-being. So it often leads to anxiety, depression, and even suicidal ideation. So efforts to combat, there are lots of effort from your side you can take over to combat this cyberbullying. One is, again, education. Your school, your university, or schools or organization, they can help by educating the users or students and educators, everyone, the teenagers, and about the harmful effect of cyberbullying and ways to behave respectfully online. You can talk about the one method is about legal measures. Many regions around the world, they do have laws against harassment and bullying that can be applied to digital behavior. Of course, they might not have it purely as a cyber crime, but the bullying and harassment can be implemented on the legal measures which is applicable for the traditional ones. Reporting mechanism, I'm sure maybe you can look into how you can report these kind of crimes. Social media platform, they do have to report abusive contents. You have seen that in social media. You can choose to report the content as abusive or harassing, or some kind of reporting. You can do that on social media platforms, and they can review and potentially remove those kind of report-based pages. You can support the victims. You do not need to put the victims isolated. Providing emotional and psychological support to victim is very important, as it creates an environment in which they feel comfortable reporting incidents. So it is important for everyone to be aware of the impact of their online behavior and to understand that behind every screen is a real person who can be hurt by the purpose of your malicious action. Because many times when we are doing something online, we are messaging someone, or we are we mean to say any of us, not necessarily we have done that intentionally, sometimes unintentionally, but it could have hurt someone on the other side. Now, when you are posting something on the social media, targeting a particular person, you take Facebook, for example, maybe you have a grudge towards a particular person and you want to insult or target the person to harass the person using social media. When you post that publicly, social media to target someone, though you don't mention the name, other personalities or other friends of yours in social media, they can find these kind of posts quite inconvenient for them. It could be they are thinking they are the targeted person. So there are many impact of doing such actions online. So it is very important for everyone to be aware of the impact of your online behavior. And empathy, digital citizenship, and intervention strategies. These are different important tools to minimize and address cyberbullying. Another topic that is so much important to know is about the sextortion. Sextortion is a kind of blackmail where the perpetrator, they threaten to release explicit images or videos of a victim unless the victim meets their demand, maybe for money, for explicit content or sexual favors. So this kind of malicious activities, they capitalizes on the sensitive nature of the content of the victim through shame, through fear of exposure, and the potential impact on their personal and professional lives. Now, how does it occur, the sextortion? Uncensored sharing. So as an individual, you yourself, you would have shared, or the user would have shared intimate images or videos with someone they trust. It could be via a platform like WhatsApp or a social media messenger or any of the platform. What happens on the other end is they would have deleted your images that you have shared. They could use them lately, used against you or a particular user. So that's one way the sextortion could occur. They can use that for harassing the person. Phishing or hacking. Attackers, they can gain access to private materials by tracking victims into clicking on malicious links. Actually, when you click on the malicious link, it installs the malware onto your system or your device, or by hacking into personal accounts. Social engineering, perpetrators, they often use manipulation and deceit to convince victims to provide images or videos. So how do we prevent sextortion? You have to be cautious with sensitive content. Think twice before you share intimate photos or videos, even with someone you trust. Anyone, I would say any single person, even if it's your relatives or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your family members or anyone, remember, when you are on a device, it is an account. It is not you as a person. You're sharing your image with outside world. It's a digital platform, right? So the other end, you're not aware it is the same person you're targeting to share. It could be someone else. So you have to be quite clear what you're doing. So preferably do not share. Be cautious with the sensitive content. Think twice. Educate yourself. You have to learn to recognize phishing attempts and be aware of digital security practices. Try to use strong passwords. You can protect your online accounts with strong, unique passwords and consider changing them every 2 weeks. As I said, two-factor authentication, that goes same for many of the security measures. One more thing what I would like to emphasize on preventive measures for sextortion is to cover your webcams. Whether you use your phone or anything, try to put a sticker on your webcam. So when not in use, cover the webcam on your devices to prevent unauthorized recording. So there are webcam hacking, so you have to be careful. We tend to think when the webcam is having the green light or the light is active, that's the time the camera is active. Not necessary. It can be hacked and the light can be off. Still, it is recording you. So you have to be careful when your camera is active. When you have the camera-based devices like smartphone or laptop, you have to be careful with the devices. Cover the webcam when not in use. You can regularly check privacy setting on social media and other platforms and remove personal information that could make you become a target. And of course, legal awareness. Familiarize yourself always with the laws in your local concern, extortion and sharing of explicit contents. What are the consequences and what are the different measures that is provided by your local authorities? Now, there are quite a lot of people, they respond to sextortion. So I would say do not pay or comply. Meeting the perpetrator's demand often doesn't guarantee that the content will be deleted or not. This you can guarantee on that, right? They might tell you that when you pay, they're going to remove, but there's no guarantee they're going to remove your digital content. So do not pay. Preserve evidence. Take screenshots and document all the communications with the perpetrators. Whoever has tried to extort or tried to ransom money from you for the images or try to do try to request for sharing explicit contents, you have to cut off the contact, block the perpetrator on all platforms and cease all form of communication. You have to report to authorities, contact law enforcement and report the crime. You can seek support. You don't have to be afraid to seek emotional and psychological support as well as legal advice if you require so. Sextortion is a traumatic experience and victims should know they are not to be blamed. Perpetrators are the one committing the crime, not the victim. And there are resources available to help victims through that kind of situations. Then we have scams, social media scams. These are fraudulent activities carried out through platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and even LinkedIn. Scammers, they exploit the trust and connectivity that social media provides to trick people into handing over money, personal information, or access to their computer or network. Here are we do have lots of scamming going on around the world. One of the main is phishing scams. Scammers impersonate legitimate entities. They trick individuals. They trick the users to provide sensitive information like password or bank account numbers. When I say this right now, it looks quite funny because many times when I say, people ask me who share password and bank account numbers. But if you try to open up yourself and talk to people outside, they do share. They do share their bank account details. They do share their passwords. They do share their OTP details to thinking the other end is a banking person or someone seriously asking for that. Then we do have romance scam. First, they create fake profiles to form relationship with the victim and eventually manipulating them into sending money under the pretext of an emergency. Then we have investment scam. Over here, they post promising high returns on investment that are in reality not existing, and they end up in the victims end up in paying, invest on that. Then we have lottery scams, job offer scams. Yes, you are the university, so you have to be careful with the job offer scams. Offers for jobs that are either don't exist or are advertised to gather personal details or fees from applicants. Then we have impersonation scams, creating fake accounts, imitating as though they are your friend or public figure and messaging you with requests for money or sensitive information. So there are lots of scams, selling scams. How do we prevent from these kind of scams? Again, back to the previous one, you have to think before you click. You have to be aware of clicking the links or downloading files, especially from unfamiliar sources. Even if, like, you take, for example, social media, Facebook, or these are not trustable sources. You do not click on any link that is being provided over there. You have to verify sources, check the authenticity of the account that is sending you emails or messages or different news. Look for the verification tricks on profiles of public figures. You can protect your personal information by cautious about the amount of personal information you share with whom you wish to share. Use privacy setting, a strong method of privacy setting. Educate yourself. You have to stay informed about the latest scamming tactics, and you have to learn how to recognize those red flags. You again use two-factor authentication. You have to report suspicious behavior. You have to use built-in reporting tools on social media platforms and flag the fraudulent content or behavior. You can check friend requests. Always check, just blindly you don't accept them. If you receive a request from someone you're already connected with, double check with the existing friend to avoid accepting imposters. Many times the second one could be genuine. If it is genuine, they're going to talk about the previous account as inactive or they are creating a new account. Otherwise, you have to verify why this person has second friend request. So remember, if anything seems too good to be true, it probably is. Regular vigilance and skeptical scrutiny of unexpected offers, messages, or requests, and can prevent falling victim to social media scams. So I would like to discuss about AI voice scam. This is so common nowadays, and AI-generated voice scams revolve around the use of synthetic voice technology to imitate the voice of real people, normally executives, family members, or public figures. So this technology is powered by advances in AI. It can make the fake audio extremely convincing. you believe that the voice is actually coming from the real person. So scammers, they use this realistic voice simulation to deceive individuals into transferring money or divulging confidential information. So actually, how it's a work scenario of it works like this. Executive fraud. You do have executive fraud. The scammer might mimic the voice of a CEO or maybe your university vice chancellor or a director or high-ranking official instructing an employee to transfer funds or provide sensitive data or even to the students. So you might blindly believe that it's the same person. Emergency scam is another one. Individuals or users or students or anyone, they may receive calls from family members in distress asking for immediate financial help. At that moment of time, we tend to fail we fail normally to look for the authenticity. We try to help the person. So you have to be careful about the emergency scam. It just takes a few seconds, a few minutes to verify who the person is, whether the person actually requires that kind of help. Then we have authority impersonation. Scammers, they can also pose as government officials or police, demanding payments for some kind of alleged debts or fines under threat of illegal actions. So you do have preventive measures for these kind of AI-based scams. First thing is verification. You always verify unexpected requests for money or information, especially if they are made with urgency by using different communication methods or direct contact. You have to verify them. Educate yourself is another method. Inform staff, family, and about the scam, and encourage them to understand about the urgent financial request over the phone, not to go with that kind of request, and think before you pay someone through this kind of approach. Be skeptical. You keep in mind that just because the caller sounds like someone you know, your family or your principal or your lecturers, it doesn't mean it's actually them. It could be a scam. So try to keep in mind, you need to verify. Create protocols. Your university can create some kind of protocol, or the company there before, for transferring money and sharing sensitive information that can include multiple steps of authentication. Then, of course, the one I would say is technology upgrade. If there is no upgrade in technology, or if the software is not updated, there is a big chance of having become vulnerable to many kind of cyber attacks. Consider using technology solution that can detect synthetic audio or other unusual call traits. Report scams. So if you suspect that you have received a scam call, report it to the relevant authorities in your local authorities and your organization as well, to the cybersecurity department or your IT department. So in different instances of users abusing AI to generate controversial statements in the vocal style of celebrities, public officers, and other famous individuals, it has raised ethical concern. We know about that. Companies, they have stated that they would work on mitigating potential abuse through safeguard and identity verification, but still, it is still in the novice stage about the AI scam. So it is important to stay informed about advances in AI technology and the new risks they bring, particularly to person and organizational security. By being aware and vigilant, you can help against falling victim to AI-generated voice scam, and also you can help your family as well and friends. There's one nice topic I would like to discuss is about AI hallucination. AI hallucination, it is actually a phenomenon where artificial intelligence system generates false or nonsensical output, often due to confusion, or could be it's a misinterpretation during the data processing phase. So this normally occurs when the AI encounters scenarios or data patterns that it has not been sufficiently trained to handle, or when its predictive model becomes overly confident in its incorrect assessment. So AI system, they learn from large amount of data to recognize patterns, and they make decisions. Now, if the training data used for the AI, the platform, if it is not comprehensive or if it's of poor quality or if it contains bias, then the AI might hallucinate and it can produce unexpected or incorrect or random results. So, for example, an image recognition AI, it might incorrectly label an object in a picture because it has never seen an image quite like it during the training. So it might create bizarre images when using to generate visual content, such as in deepfake technology or AI art creation. So AI hallucination can be problematic, I must say, particularly in critical applications like autonomous vehicles, medical diagnostic systems, or in an area where trust and accuracy are paramount. So it is important to improve the data quality, expanding training data sets and including mechanisms to detect and handle these kind of crucial issues to mitigate the effect of AI hallucination. Now, researchers and engineers, they are continuously working on developing more robust AI systems. So when you're using generative AI platforms, there are lots of generative AI platforms nowadays. I think on daily basis, we are getting AI tools for videos or audios or even for research or education. You do have the bot, I think it's called as Gemini. You have ChatGPT and you have lots of other platforms around the world. But how do we trust them? How do we know whether these are the tool that we can use for working on an official documentation or your project? Can we use them? What if it is a hallucinated information? So you have to be aware. First of all, when you're using a platform, you should be aware about the content that it is showing to you. So it is like you have to cross-verify the content and to ensure that before you use for some kind of legal documentation or submission of a document to the university or any other platforms, if you're using this information from platforms like generative AI, you have to be very careful what you're submitting. You have to ensure these theories or what is being given in those kind of platform, they are trustable. So if you're not sure, you can always cross-verify them. Well, I would like to, I think it is about, do I have more time?
Yeah, ma'am, if you wish to take some more time, it's okay.
It's okay. Maybe if I don't have much time, then maybe I would like to stop over here.
Good evening, dear Madam Sheeba Armoogum. On behalf of the IEEE Women in Engineering Student Branch Affinity Group of the University of Jaffna, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude for gracing us with your insights. Your passion for empowering girls and young women in the fields of cybersecurity and personal leadership has truly been the driving force behind this event's success. And dear Madam, please accept our virtual token of appreciation. We hope to have the pleasure of welcoming you back for our future sessions. I also want to express our appreciation to each and every participant who joined us today, and your active engagement and enthusiasm made this session truly meaningful. As we conclude this session, let us carry forward the lessons learned and the inspiration gained. It's time to make memories, so it's okay if you don't want to turn on your cameras, but we request you to join us to quickly capture photo if you are in a possibility. So
We'll wait for 1 to 2 minutes. Those who wish to turn on your cameras, you can do it. Seems like there's no one else willing to turn on. Let's capture this moment. All right, thanks, ma'am. I'll hand it over to Kavitra again. Kavitra?
Yeah. Once again, thank you everyone for joining today. And now the session is handed over to Chairperson Ms. Varsha Jarajalingam to take you through our social media platforms.
Good evening to all the attendees of this session and a special welcome on this International Girls in ICT Day 2024. Thank you for joining with us and staying a bit longer to explore our new additions to our social media presence aimed at making our outreach even wider. As many of you know, we previously had Facebook and LinkedIn as our official social media pages. So you can find them under the name IEEE Student Branch Affinity Group, University of Jaffna, the same with the Facebook as well. Now we are excited to announce the addition of our website, Instagram page, and the YouTube. Created by the current executive committee of the IEEE Student Branch Affinity Group of the University of Jaffna 2024-25. These platforms will provide easier access to our updates and information. Speaking about our website, you can visit our website. You can go to this page and you can click on this WI tab and it will take you to our website. Here you'll find details about our upcoming events, get to know about our past events, explore STEM related celebrations through educational flyers and much more. Our webmaster, Ms. Lochini, has worked diligently to ensure that this temporary website is user friendly for everyone. And also you can you can find the social media platforms linked here, so you can click on this and also you can get to our social media pages. Also letting know about our WIE. This was established as a student branch affinity group at our university on 9th of June 2021. And also don't forget to follow us on our Instagram in addition to our Facebook and LinkedIn, and to stay updated with our events. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and also watch recordings of our sessions subject to speaker approval for publication. This is helpful for those who may have missed our sessions or we wish to revisit the discussed concepts. And also you can see the links in the chat. You can click on them and navigate to these pages and maybe follow and subscribe our social media platforms. That's it about our update. Stay tuned with us on our social media platforms. Once again, happy International Girls in ICT Day. Thank you for your support and participation in widening our social media presence. Thank you. That's it. Good night. You can leave the meeting now.